Welcome to an iTruckTV.com interview spotlight. Hi, I'm web editor Greg Thompson, and we're glad you've connected with us here on iTruckTV.com. In this edition of our interview spotlight, we will be spending a few minutes with Mike Hosted, a business consultant with ATBS Services. As everyone knows, the April 15th tax deadline moves closer with each passing day. With that in mind, we wanted to spend a few minutes with Mike at ATBS, which is a premier business consulting firm and is widely used by owner-operators and independent contractors throughout the trucking industry. Well, Mike, thanks for joining us and welcome to iTruckTV.com. At this time of year, I'm sure people come to you with tons of questions, but let's start with one that often stays in the back of everyone's mind who has to file a return. How do I avoid an audit?
Know what you can and cannot deduct. It's a very important skill to have and knowledge base to have on basically what receipts you can keep and what you cannot keep. You don't want to count something that is illegal. Another good method would be to have a good bookkeeping system. You need images of receipts so that you can use them in an audit. You also need to provide them in a monthly profit and loss statement. That way, when the time comes, you have references back to it and you have all the information you need readily available. You don't want a receipt to fade or anything along those lines. The other important factor you would look for is a good CPA at a business services provider that can represent you in the case of an audit. You want someone with a popular name and a well-known name on your tax return. That way, when it comes time, if there is an audit, you'll be represented in a proper manner.
Hey Mike, that's great advice. Now, one of the ways to do things the right way is through good bookkeeping. And professional drivers are used to maintaining good daily records. With that said, can you give us some good bookkeeping tips?
The first one is always to keep a good filing system in your truck. Have a place where you put your receipts on a regular basis. Have a file where right when you get in the truck with the receipt, you put it in there. That way you won't lose it. That'll avoid that problem where you can get every deduction that you need. The second thing I would say is have a good system where either you image them yourself, where you have copies, or you send them to your business services provider so that they can make an image for you. The last thing I would say is get a receipt book, a blank receipt book where you can write up your own receipts. If something comes up where you won't get a receipt, a good example is laundry. You can actually just write up your own receipt. That way you're not missing those small deductions. $2 here, $5 here, that will add up very fast and end up saving you tax money in the long run.
Well, Mike, a good approach to taxes sounds a lot like driving safely down the highway. From what you've told us, you need to take the steps to be prepared from all directions. In talking with the team at ATBS, I know that you guys place a good deal of emphasis on following a tax calendar. It can really help owner-operators and contractors to see what's ahead of them down the business road. Can you share some thoughts on a tax calendar and tell us why this is a good idea?
Well, a tax calendar is very important for numerous reasons. First of all, it'll keep you up to date on the deadlines of the upcoming tax due dates. Quarterly tax estimates are due throughout the year. Can remind you of those. You can also know when your corporate and regular tax returns are due. It will also tell you when your 2290, the federal heavy use tax, is due. It'll just keep you up to date on all the dates that are important to you as an over-the-road driver. Another thing that it will do for you is a new way to track per diem. Now with electronic logs, there is no good way to show your per diem days. I think a calendar is the perfect way where you can mark the number of days you're out on the road. Just put a little X through it on the day that you're out on the road. When you go back at the end of the year, you can count up your per diem days and that will be it. You will have proof and your days are tracked. Another good thing that I would say is trucking calendars are out on the internet. A good place to go get one is www.atbsshow.com. There's a trucking calendar there with all those particular dates where you can go get everything you need.
Hey Mike, a final question for you here. Taxes and other business planning considerations can make trucking a challenge to manage on your own. Can you talk to us a little bit about the importance of choosing a strong business service provider?
Good question. The first thing I would look for in a business services provider is, do they offer what you need? Do they have monthly bookkeeping where they can keep track of your records and image your receipts for you? Do they provide you with the appropriate taxes, both quarterly taxes and the year-end tax return? And is there industry experts there to help you when you need it? The next thing I would look for is, are they reputable and do they have industry experience? You need a good CPA to help you out and who understands your industry. Trucking is a very diverse industry, and you want to make sure that someone has experience and is reputable in that when they come time to file your taxes. The last thing that I would look for is there a fair price and communication? There are often hidden fees in tax services. Please always look for hidden fees and make sure that you're going to get a good communication system. Will they call you back when you need them? That's very important, and you know, as an over-the-road driver, it's something you need to make sure you're aware of and communicating with on a regular basis.
iTruckTV.com would like to thank Mike Hosted, business consultant with ATBS Services, for joining us on this edition of the iTruckTV.com Interview Spotlight. Check out the front page of iTruckTV.com for our latest video features. And remember, iTruckTV is everywhere. Find us, follow us, and I know you'll like us on your favorite social media app. Hey drivers, let's stay safe out there.